Malcolm Angel.
That's me.
Thank you very much for coming to the Quarterjack Suite here in the Allendale Centre today. You and I have done a lot of work together over the last few years, haven't we?
We certainly have.
Tell us about Radio Wimborne. How long's it been going?
Golly, well, you know, we were told, weren't we, when it first started, 6 months. That's all you've got, really, folks, 6 months. 5 years. 5 solid years of fantastic radio. So we've been going.
It was a busy 5 years. I remember I moved house in the same week that we launched the station.
Well, we thought you were actually going to move town as well, because you'd started to launch the station.
Get out of town. What's the secret for it lasting so long, then?
Well, it's terrific, and it's dead easy, really, isn't it? It's the teamwork, isn't it? We've got a fantastic team. We've got great technical guys to keep us going. Boy, did we need them when we first started. Do you remember when we thought we were going to start with kitties or old school computers, and they kept us going? It's teamwork with the technical guys, and also a great bunch of presenters. We couldn't wish for anything better, could we?
Mm. Well, I was going to ask, why do you think local community radio is important?
It's so important now. It was important when we started because we did have other forms of media. But I think the reason for local radio is it's immediate, it's live. You turn it on and you listen to you and I talking on a Monday morning. Apart from the fun and the banter that we're having, I don't know about our audience. It's actually live. What's happening is right there and it's right with you. And this is so important that you can actually get live news items about our town as it's happening, rather than waiting for a day, if you're going to get it in a daily newspaper, or a fortnight, if it's a fortnightly paper, or even a month. And now that we've actually lost our local newspaper, the Star and Avon, we're more needed than ever. So yeah, it's really, really important to have local radio. And all it's going to grow, it'll grow like in the States. Local radio has really taken off big, especially with the fake news.
Yes.
You know, the people in the States really believe they cannot believe what they're seeing on the telly or hearing on the national programmes, so they're tuning into local stations to get real news.
Yeah. Well, when we talk about radio, people often will naturally talk about listeners. Well, how many listeners you got? Who's listening? Where are they? But Radio Wimborne is a community project in a way, and we don't just do things in the studio. Tell us about some of the things that we go out and about and do.
Well, this is what we set off by doing right from the start, was to create this group, this community group of people that not only produce radio and present. We've got 20, or is it 21 and a half now?
It's over 20 for sure.
20 and a half presenters now that present live from our studio around the clock, 24/7. People don't realise that. You can get it 24/7, Radio Wimborne. But also we go out into the community as well, because that's what we like doing. We like to talk to people in the community, let them know what's going on. So we do, the biggie, of course, is just before Christmas, the Sonny Lumiere, the Sound and Light show on the Minster, which is fantastic. And I have to say that when we first put it on, a friend who lives not that far away came and saw me and said, I went and saw a most amazing show. There's the Sound and Light show on the side of the Minster. On the weekend. I said, was it good? I said, yes, it was Radio 1. No, I soon put that right. Radio Wimborne, we put on that show, which is fantastic. And the whole idea is that as a radio station, we can use our expertise. It goes more so for me, really. I can use our technicians, because I'm not a technician, as you know. I'm completely not techie. I have ideas, then other people have to actually make them work.
Yes.
And our technicians are so superb. They create not only the sound, which is terrific, but the light show as well, the videos.
And this takes months, doesn't it? Months of prep.
Yeah, we are wearing our technicians out. So for a 20-minute show that loops, as you know, obviously, we run it 20 minutes for 4 times or 5 times, so that everyone gets the opportunity to see it. Anyone who turns up late will see a complete show. If you turn up early, you'll see it right from the start. That takes months. As any film crew would tell you, you can't just produce something and it's perfect the first time. So and that's terrific. We love doing the Sonny Lumiere for people, and it's our Christmas present for the people of Wimborne.
Which, of course, is kindly sponsored by Wimborne Bid and Wimborne Minster Town Council, and we also have a very keen, interested party in town that helps with the financial costs.
Very, very kind of them indeed. But apart from that, of course, we do the fireworks at Cllr. We didn't do it last year.
No, they didn't do the fireworks last year, but we were happy to help them when they did do them.
And road shows. We've done road shows.
History Festival.
Yeah, the History Festival wouldn't be the same without our sound system, because
The
we have...
Wimborne War on Waste, Plastic Day.
For those people who haven't seen Wimborne's mobile broadcasting unit, it's terrific. Is it? You might be forgiven for thinking it's actually a horse box.
Yeah. It might have been at one point.
But it was a double horse box.
The point there is that it's not just about presenters sitting in the studio and waiting for listeners to come to us. This is about our technicians who voluntarily go out and do sound and other road shows and activities for other community volunteer-led organisations and charities, and they're happy to do that because it's all about the community.
War on waste. Plastic.
Yes, the plastic-free day. That was brilliant as well.
So we're out there mixing it.
What's next for Radio Wimborne? What are your hopes next?
Well, do you know, I love it the way it is. It's fantastic. We've got listeners all over the world because we're an internet radio station. So it's great when I'm listening in live and I hear Rusty going, "Oh, fantastic! They're tuning in now." And you've got California and you've got New York and you've got Madrid, and then he'll pick someone up in Russia. And then he falls off his chair. So it's great to listen to that now. But however, we're going to go for more local people as well, because it seems that it's far more difficult for people to actually turn an internet radio on than it is to turn an ordinary radio on. So we're going to go FM, hopefully. At last, we've come to the 4-yearly tranche for Ofcom to offer us the opportunity to apply for a licence. Let's get this right, to apply for a licence. And we're doing it. Now,
it's not a slam dunk. There's more work involved in this.
I love that slam dunky business. It's not a slam dunk, but it's a huge amount of hard work for us, again, and for you in particular, because you're actually doing the filling in the forms. We've made sure of that. I've made sure of that because, you know, if it works, I'll take full credit. If it doesn't, someone's got to take the blame, haven't they? So the forms are being filled in now. We're getting help from other technical people with our masks that we need, which won't be obtrusive, folks. And we should know by just this side of Christmas,
hopefully,
whether we get FM or not. And then when you hit that button, you're going to get us live, as you have done, as people have done on our what we call RSLs, restricted service licenses. Yes. Which we've had once for a fortnight, and it went berserk. People were listening in throughout the district.
People like to be able to just turn on the radio in their kitchen. It's easy for them.
It's easier than
you can understand that. Well, Malcolm, thank you very much for talking to us today. Here's to the next 5 years, and we'll come back and we'll say, been on FM for 5 years, hopefully.
It's
Thanks
been
very
a pleasure.
much.
Thank you.
Bye.
You're listening to Radio Wimborne. My name is Graham Clark. It's Wednesday lunchtime live from 12 o'clock until 2 o'clock lunchtime, of course, your favourite local radio station. On today's show, we'll be playing lots of music for people in and around the area, from Broadstone up to Pamphill, down from Blandford and to Corfmullen as well. So it's all good stuff for local community radio. Now, if you are into comedy, then we do have lots of that for you on today's show. Plus, of course, the local news, what's going on in and around the town, at the Allendale Centre, at the Tivoli, and lots of events throughout the whole community. So do stay tuned. We're carrying on until 2 o'clock. Lots of live programmes throughout the day, but also throughout the night as well. Yes, it's a 24/7 radio station here in the middle of Wimborne. Wimborne Minster, the gem of Dorset. This is Radio Wimborne.
Well, I would say welcome Tanya Cripps to the Allendale Centre, but of course this is where you spend most of your time. Tell us about your role here, Tanya.
It is. I am the Centre Manager at the Allendale Community Centre, and that involves pretty much anything and everything, from cleaning toilets to working with the council on major refurbishment projects. My general role is overseeing the day-to-day running of the centre, ensuring that we're providing the best facilities and services that we can to the community, and also looking to the future and see what the community needs within Wimborne and whether and how we can provide those facilities and services.
So it's very varied then.
Indeed, yeah. It certainly keeps us on our toes.
I spend quite a bit of time in here as well because of Radio Wimborne Studio being here, which is brilliant. I see quite a few staff. I mean, are they all paid staff? It must cost a fortune to keep them all.
No, it certainly would if they were all paid. We have 8 staff on the books, 5 of whom are only part-time. They are also complemented by an amazing team of over 50 volunteers.
50?
Over
Wow.
50 volunteers. You don't see them. They flit in and out. But we certainly couldn't provide the facilities and services that we do without our fantastic team of volunteers.
And Wimborne's very good at providing volunteers.
Absolutely, yes. We've got some fantastic team members who take on quite organisational roles rather than just day-to-day helping out. So we're very, very grateful for our volunteers.
Lucky, yeah. And the centre is run by trustees of a charity, WDCA. Tell us what that stands for, what it means.
The WDCA is the Wimborne and District Community Association. It is a registered charity and they are responsible for managing and maintaining the Allendale Community Centre.
And of course there was a wonderful Christmas show, which was brilliant.
We had a brilliant Christmas show last year and hopefully, fingers crossed, they'll be back again this year. We also are part of most of the festivals in Wimborne, so the History Festival, the Beer Festival, the Literary Festival, the Folk Festival. We're sort of quite an embedded part of all of those as well, which are very popular activities in the town. So
it's the heart of the community, and it's so important that this building stays as it is for the use of the community.
Absolutely.
For anybody that's not been here, when's it open to the public?
Pretty much we're open to the public whenever the public want to use the facilities. Our reception is covered 9 to 5 Monday to Friday and most Saturdays. Our cafe is open 9 to 4 Monday to Saturday, but to be honest, most evenings we're open through till 10, 10:30 because we have activities in. Most Sundays now we are also open because we have activities and bookings in, but we can be open whenever people want to use it. Whenever people want to hire the facilities, then we'll provide the staff to keep the centre open.
It's kind of most of the time. And the cafe's super. We use that a lot. And it's
Yeah,
always
very
quite buzzy in there as well.
Very well used and very busy, especially on Tuesdays. You're lucky to get a table in there on a Tuesday.
Book ahead.
Over the last 5 years, we've worked really hard to build up the support with the community, with Wimborne and people within Wimborne. We're very well used by all aspects of the community. We've built some really good links across the community, which has been very good for us. We're continuing to try and build on those links because we're always welcome more support from the local community. It still amazes us how many people walk into the building and go, "Oh, I've just discovered this and I've lived in Wimborne all my life," which happens, and unbelievably so. And the number of people that still believe we're run by the council, which is also quite shocking. So there's still a lot of work to do, getting the word around, but we're working as closely as we can with as many aspects of the community as we can to make sure that this centre stays here for the future, stays relevant, stays valid, and can be here for generations to come, really.
Well, that's brilliant, and I can see that you're looking ahead. You've got your sustainable projects of the milk machine you have outside.
Yes, so we've got, that was new in at the end of last year, we've got a recycling section here, so we're starting to do lots of recycling collections. We're working with Win on Waste and War on Waste in Wimborne. We have the milk machine from Allendale Dairy, which is a brilliant asset to the centre. They come in every morning and put fresh milk in there from the local dairy, and it's proved very popular, and again for us it's bringing a whole different group of people into the centre. And once people come in and they do discover it, they do come back regularly. So that's great for us and it's great for the community.
That's brilliant.
So.
Well, it's always good to think that you're looking ahead and looking for the next opportunity to involve the
Absolutely.
community. Best of luck for the coming years, and I hope it
much.
continues to be successful. Thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you, Kelly.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Simon Wheeler, Band Master of Dorset Youth Marching Band.
Good evening.
Welcome to the Allendale Centre, which I know you're very familiar with because
Love
you're
the
here.
Allendale Centre.
You're here every week, aren't you? We wanted to talk about the Dorset Youth Marching Band. Can you explain how the band came about? Because I know lots of people will have seen it and heard it. How did it come about?
So we started as East Dorset Scout Band many, many years ago, and I joined when I was 8. And when I got to about 18, 19, the bandmaster at that time unfortunately passed away. So along with a very supportive family and a great team, I took over the running of East Dorset Scout Band. And then around about 1996 we decided that we wanted to open it up to more children, and so we took the band independent with the blessing of the Scouts. and we created Dorset Youth Marching Band. And that is how we are today. And I'm the bandmaster, and I'm very privileged to be the bandmaster of Dorset Youth Marching Band. Latterly, a few years ago, we got the great honour of becoming Wimborne's town band, which is part of my history. If you go to the Priest House Museum, the original Wimborne town band had my great-great-grandparents in it. So there's a history that runs all the way through.
Gosh, that's amazing. So you're the band master. What does that involve? What do you do?
Lots of sleepless nights. No, it's great to be bandmaster. You get to work with a great team of people teaching children music. You don't need to know music before you join the band. And with marching bands, there's the added complication of having to be able to march and play. Yeah. And you don't need to know how to do any of those things when you come here. You just need to come willing to have fun, and that's what we try and do, create a family atmosphere, and hopefully you'll learn some music along the way and have a good time.
Well, it always seems very musical.
I think
you're playing it down.
We do try to make them smile. You'll notice when those of you that have seen the band out, you say, why don't those children smile? But when they concentrate, they tend not to smile very much, and you'll see me going around saying, come on, smile, show them you're enjoying it.
I think I have seen that. So you're independent of the Scouts now, so how do you recruit members?
Well, recruiting members, we still recruit from the Scouts, and the district commissioners have been absolutely fabulous with us, so we retain very strong links with the Scouts. We do the St George's Day parades, any other parades that they want us to do, we try and support. So we take Scouts. We used to do loads of leaflet drops, and in this age of social media, we found that actually the best way is to put a video together, put it out on, much like doing this really, put it out on Facebook and Instagram and all those places. It gets shared, and that's been really good for us. We've got an awful lot of recruits from that. Also, our website, which is www.dymb.org, is a great place to kind of look us up, find some information. All the contact info is there, and if anybody wants to join, then come down to the Allendale.
You're in.
And yeah, you're in.
Get measured up for your red coats.
Absolutely.
Which is brilliant.
So we come Christmas Eve, and Christmas doesn't start until we've done the Mayor's charity gig on Christmas Eve. But we go all over the south of England. We have a camp down in Devon that we've been doing probably for the last, I'm trying to think how old I am, getting towards 50. So I've done about 40 of those. We run our own Moors Valley run over at Moors Valley. So if any athletes out there, you'll see me sweating my way around that course to try and raise some money for the band. And we go as far as France. So the Valognes Twinning Committee have very kindly invited us out to Valognes this year. And we are up to about our 12th, 13th or 14th trip to Saumur in France. So we get around as much as possible. And
it's all promoting the town and your Wimborne Town Band as well.
Always. We put Wimborne on our van, on anything that we can put Wimborne on. We absolutely love Wimborne. If you see some of the pictures or portraits that we've got of the band, and I was thinking about this the other night, I'll share some with you. You'll see in the background Wimborne Minster, because we just love the place. It's absolutely a beautiful, in fact acoustically, it's probably one of the best towns we play around. So yes. When we do the Save the Children parade, a lot of people ask me, why do you not just come straight into town with the rest of the procession? Why do you stop? It's because we like to just let everything die down and go quiet, and then
make an entrance.
Just love it.
That's what it's all about, isn't it? Thank you so much for talking to us. Just to recap in terms of if anybody's got the taste for this now and they would like to get in touch with you, what's your website again?
The website is www.dymb.org. Or simply come down to the Allendale Centre on a Wednesday night around about 7:30, 7:45. And if we see you, we'll come out. But by all means, come in. And even if you just want to come in, and we'll make you a coffee and make you feel welcome and just listen to the band, that's fine by us.
And you'll be in the room where all the noise is coming from.
We will be generating a lot of noise, yes.
Simon, thank you so much for coming down.
Thank you so much for having me.
Sarah Evans, you're the manager of East Dorset Heritage Trust, which is based here in Allendale House, which is where we're doing this interview. It's such a lovely building. And the trust is very special to me because I used to work here. So I thought you could tell people about East Dorset Heritage Trust. What is it? What does it do?
Okay, we're an educational charity. We've been in existence for 30 plus years.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're part of the established Wimborne community. I think that's what we are anyway. We organise courses for the community. They're tailor-made. We do events, whether it's a walk in the countryside, a visit to an unusual place.
I think I've got a bit of an insight because I was lucky enough to work here at one point, but it's trying to get that message across because you do so much for the community.
I believe so, yes.
Which I think is really valuable. But of course Allendale House hasn't always been used for the trust. It's gone through lots of different guises, and I know when you talk to people they'll say, oh, I remember when it was a... Tell us what you remember it has been.
Okay, so it was built in 1823 as a family home for the Castlemans. They were local landowners, high status family in Wimborne. They needed a base in Wimborne, so this house was built by quite a high status architect. And so it was a family home till about 1860, that sort of time. Then it became a school. It was Miss Susie Funnell's School for Girls. That continued till about 1890, 1898, that sort of thing. Then it became Wimborne School for Girls, and that continued into the 1920s, when it finally closed, and then it went into private ownership for a short time, for about 5 or 6 years. And then after that, it was bought by the council, so it was the Urban District Council that owned it, and then that continued until 1974, when the Rural District Council and the Urban District Council merged. They went to Firs Hill and the house became vacant. So it was taken over. It's been through a whole range of different guises.
It's been a restaurant?
Then. It was a restaurant. It had a gentleman's club on the top floor. It was an antique shop on the ground floor, so you name it, it's had quite a few different...
Which adds to its character, doesn't it? It really adds to it. So some of the popular courses, I know I've seen people doing yoga, but there's language and IT and that kind of thing? Yes, we do all sorts of courses, but languages are one of our strengths, because I don't know if you know, but if in later life you learn a language, it actually does help to stave off Alzheimer's. The cognitive benefits of it. Yes, so we do Spanish, Italian and French. As yet we don't do German because we haven't actually had much call for that, and we certainly don't do any Russian or anything like that because there isn't that need for it in the community. And I suppose the others are where people travel to, the closest countries. Yes, that's right. So we also do IT, we do art history, we do creative writing. If we get asked for a course, we will do our best to supply it, depending on how many people are seeking that sort of thing. So we tailor-make them for the community, basically. Mm-hmm. And you hire out rooms. I know people have had their birthday parties here. Yeah. We hire the rooms. The rooms in the building are what basically provides the income for the trust, and we can hire them for all sorts of local companies. The NHS are our biggest customer. Dorset County Council, various companies use our facilities to train their personnel or have meetings, board meetings, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. You name it, anybody can book a room. And of course, this is the home of Wimborne Bid. It is, based on the top floor. Yes. So over 10 years ago, it was a seed, and it's grown, and the Business Improvement District has been brilliant for Wimborne. Absolutely brilliant. And we're very proud to have been able to help with the formation of that.
by offering an office.
So looking forward to the years ahead, you're going to do more of the same thing, just try to keep the courses, try to keep the community engagement, keep the house open for the community.
Absolutely, yes.
Well, that's brilliant. Yeah. Well, I wish you all the luck in that, and anything I can do to help, do ask.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for talking to us today, Sarah.
Thank you.
Hello, Richard Nunn. You are the chairman of Wimborne in Bloom. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Very welcome. What is Wimborne in Bloom for people that don't know Wimborne Minster very well or not quite sure what an In Bloom organisation is?
In Bloom is a countrywide organisation run under the auspices of the Royal Horticultural Society. And we are split into regions. We're in the south and southeast region, which covers an area, well, from where we are really, we're furthest west, right the way through to the Medway. So it's a big region and lots of people in the In Bloom organisation.
You must get a lot of support, I know you get a lot of support from people, individuals and organisations to do the work that you do. Tell us a bit about that.
People are fantastic. If we didn't have the popular support we get, then we wouldn't be able to raise the money that we need to pay for the floral planting and the watering throughout the year. All our events require people to support them. If we don't get that support, we don't get anything. The other side of it, of course, is the terrific relationship we have with the Wimborne Minster Town Council and also the Wimborne Bid. And we have a partnership arrangement with the three parties, and it's a tripartite arrangement, not an agreement. And this works extremely well, I think, for all parties.
Yes.
We do a certain amount of work for them, which they give us an amount of money each month for. It's vastly less than the amount of work we do,
yes,
but it gives us a nice steady income stream.
So what sort of number of volunteers would you say you have at the moment?
We're talking about between 30 and 40.
Wow, that's a huge number, isn't it? And the sorts of things that they'd be doing, are they planting flowers and flowering baskets or not?
Nope.
No. I think some people think they do.
The closest we get to it is when we put up and take down the hanging baskets. But we don't, it's just too big. We have something like 83 flower planters, whether they're barrels, whether they're 40 towers, and we put up, last year we put up 193 hanging baskets. So it really does make a big floral impact.
So your volunteers raise, well, two things. They raise money to pay for those displays, but they're also doing the tidying and cleaning and the weeding around the town as well.
Yes.
So what sort of fundraising activities do you get involved in?
We have a whole range. I tell you our most popular two are the Wine and Wisdom Quiz, which we've just had, and then the Open Gardens, which is the end of June. That's where a lot of private gardens are opened, between 20 and 30, normally towards the 20 rather than 30. And people just love going around and looking at other people's gardens, especially new ones. You can always tell where the popularity is, and that's it. So.
And of course there's the duck race, very popular.
We do the duck race, yes. That is very popular, and that's a great, it goes beyond just a fundraiser because it's the spirit that people find in it. The youngsters, the faces are just pictures to see them following the ducks along the river.
Because of course you pay £1 for your duck number.
Yes.
And you follow it down
Absolutely.
the river and hope you come first.
Yes.
But there are art competitions as well.
There are. We put on, and those are not fundraisers. We put on art and poetry competitions for all age groups, advertised as far as the younger ones are concerned through the schools, and for the older ones, the art groups.
And that's about community engagement, isn't it? As
yes,
you say,
absolutely.
rather
There's
than
no money
fundraising.
at all. There's no entry fee. We don't make a penny out of it, but we have up to 600 entries.
And that's the reason for why that's so important. Not only is it nice for the town, but it's part of the judging criteria, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You've had some successes. Tell us about that.
We have indeed. South and South East in Bloom, we have had a gold award for the last 5 years. Last year we were in Britain in Bloom as well. We got a silver gilt there, and this year we're in Britain in Bloom again. Well, we hope to get one better. And it's not something you can enter as far as the Britain in Bloom. It's nominated by the region.
Right.
So that's a big accolade for us anyway. The big payback is that a lot of people pay attention to who wins and what goes on, not only local people, but people from around and visitors. And this is the big thing. It brings tourists into the town.
Yes.
A very important aspect.
It is extremely important to Wimborne Minster. So have you got any particular plans for this season? Doing anything new or different?
Yes, I mentioned the Britain in Bloom competition, so we're in that. And I should just say on competitions, we find that they are a benefit because of bringing people into town, not because of winning something. It's only how the town is judged on one particular day.
Mm-hmm.
And what's important to us is how it looks year round.
Yes.
So which is why we go out and do all the other things. Yes, new things. We have 2 projects to raise more money. We've got a Wimborne in Bloom tote bag, and until that was raised, I didn't even know what a tote bag was, so there we are. And we're also doing a Wimborne in Bloom calendar,
right,
where we have got each month sponsored, and we hope to sell quite a few calendars around town. So we'll see what happens there. The rest are our normal fundraising activities. Hopefully they'll be successful as well.
Yeah. Well, I wish you
we've
the best
also
of
got
luck.
an M&Co fashion show in September ago. So.
Well, best of luck with all that, Richard. I hope, and I'm
Thank
sure
you.
it will be a wonderful year. And good luck with the judging again.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for talking to us today.
Thanks very much indeed. Thanks for your time.
It's a nice morning. Didn't think it'd be like this after yesterday, did you?
Councillor Sue Cook, thank you for talking to me today. Welcome to Allendale House. I wanted you to talk to us about Wimborne Dementia Friendly Community and your involvement in it.
Right, well, Wimborne Dementia Friendly Community was initially set up in conjunction with Alzheimer's Society, who had a Wimborne Dementia Action Plan, which was really to make sure that communities are very much aware of signs of people with dementia, how to deal with people with dementia. In business, it can affect somebody's life really, really badly. They might be speaking slowly, they might not perhaps get their change ready. It's really an education for the community to be aware of these things and to learn how to deal with them. And that was the whole idea from Alzheimer's at the beginning.
So how did the idea for the allotments come about up at Kingston Lacey?
We had a memory cafe, which we still run in the Cllr Centre in Wimborne. And one of our members said, it's great for ladies who want to come and have a cup of tea and a chat, but there isn't much for men. So what could we do to help men who are living with dementia and their carers to perhaps meet other men, have some fresh air, some exercise? And we approached the National Trust at Kingston Lacey and asked them if they had any allotment beds that perhaps we could use, hire rent from them. And yes, they did. They let us have one to start with. And we had a facilitator from Alzheimer's Society come to help with this, simply because obviously there are issues with people with dementia, to make sure that there is somebody there who knows how to help them, how to handle any situation that might arise.
Well, Sue, thank you very much for talking to us. I'm sure that it's very valued in the community and it will go from strength to strength, and well done for your involvement in it for those temporary 3 years.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you, Sue.
Thank you.
Sarah, good afternoon.
Hello, Trevor.
What exactly happens here on this allotment?
Right, well, this is the Step Outside allotment, which is a dementia-friendly allotment group started by Wimborne Dementia Friendly Community. So it was their idea to set this up.
Right.
And we garden here with between 10 or 12 people twice a month.
How long has this been operating?
This is our 4th year.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's been very successful.
Yes.
When the dementia-friendly group set it up, they thought that it would be just for men.
Uh-huh.
They thought that more men would like to come, but as you'll see when you film around, that there are lots of women as well. So people just like to be outside.
Yes.
The purpose was
Yes.
to get people outside because of the health benefits of being outside.
Yes.
So people
Yes.
have met friends and made friends,
Yes.
and they have a lovely chat as well as working together here.
How long have you been involved with this group?
I've been here for 4 years.
Okay.
So I started the group as an Alzheimer's Society employee.
Yes.
Wimborne Dementia Friendly Community asked the Alzheimer's Society if they would set up and run the group for them. So they needed someone with that experience. And so that's when I got involved.
Yes.
But last year, unfortunately, Alzheimer's Society decided that they couldn't spare me to do that anymore. So I've set up my own community interest company called In Jolly Good Company
Uh-huh.
in order to run the Step Outside allotment group still.
So who do you think benefits from this? People living with dementia or the helpers?
Everybody.
Oh, right.
Everybody does. So whether you're a carer and you come here because the person you look after is getting a lot out of being outside, and maybe you get a bit of a break because whilst they're chatting to someone you can go off and dig
Yes.
and get a bit of respite really.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
whether you're a person living with dementia and you just want to come and socialise. The point here is that no one knows who is who.
Yes.
No one knows who's a volunteer. No one really knows who's staff. And no one knows who's living with dementia,
Of course.
particularly.
Of course.
We do cater for everyone's needs, but we are a team and we just work together. So in that sense, everybody's equal. And I
Yes.
think people really like that. I think that's where the benefit is. But I think I benefit as much as anyone else does.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. You mentioned earlier that you have ladies and gentlemen who have dementia.
Yes,
How many ladies and how many gentlemen do you have in the group?
that's interesting. I think currently we have about possibly 3 or 4 women and about the same number of men. If you're asking me for statistics as to how many people there are living with dementia and what sex they are, I couldn't
No,
tell you.
no.
But we've recently done some studies and we know we've asked Dorset County Council for some statistics.
Yes.
And they have said that there are, say in my village, which is Wimborne St Giles, just
Yes.
up the road, there are 250 people within a 5-mile radius who are living with dementia.
Really?
And that goes up to 2,260 people within a 10-mile radius. And those are people who are not in care homes.
Yes.
So it's
yes.
hugely,
That is
hugely
significant.
prevalent.
Yes.
So we need to do more things like this
Yes. Yes.
so that people can feel included
Of course.
and enjoy their lives
Of
as much as
course.
possible.
And finally, perhaps, what plans do you have for this allotment for the rest of the summer?
Well, we've just taken on 3 new raised beds and a huge flat area as well. So I think we're going to be very busy
Okay.
planting, weeding, digging. And luckily, we've got wonderful volunteers.
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
John, and we've got a new volunteer who just started today, Jackie, who help us.
Okay.
And without them, this would not happen.
Well, fine. Okay. Sarah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, Councillor Pat Hymas, thank you for coming to talk to us.
Hello, Kelly.
You are coming to talk to us about Dream Boats in Wimborne, and you're the chairman of it. Tell us what Dream Boats is.
Yes, well, the clue is in the name, really.
It is.
They are boats which were a result of a dream that started way back before 2000, when the old boating that used to happen on the River Stour disappeared because the person that was running it died. And for many years people said somebody ought to bring back the boats. And so it was a bit of a dream. And in the year 2000, we actually achieved that. We brought back the rowing boats on the River Stour.
And this is the River Stour for people that might not know Wimborne Minster quite so well. If you're perhaps driving out of Wimborne over the bridge at the bottom of Poole Road, you look to your left and Dreamboats is just based down there on the left, isn't it?
That's right, yes. There used to be a railway bridge there. Many of the people who lived in Wimborne at the time knew very well, and some people remember quite well, but of course it's not there anymore, but the boats are there.
But the boats are there instead. So who uses the boats?
Well, anybody who pays the price, really.
Which is very reasonable.
Oh, absolutely. We are the cheapest rowing boats on the River Stour.
But it's for the local community to enjoy, particularly in the summer, isn't it?
Yes, I mean, we did it because we want very much the local community use them, the people who live in Wimborne and maybe don't get the chance to go down the river and enjoy the environment, which is so quiet and pleasant and interesting with the wildlife that happens down there. But of course also for tourists and residents of the town who come down looking for something a little bit different to do. And it is different.
And it's very accessible, so going down towards the river, of course there's new housing down there as well. It's a lovely riverbank.
Yeah.
And you do fundraising as well, don't you? And you do some of it down there. Tell us a bit about the fundraising.
Yes, well of course because we're a volunteer group, anything we do and everything we do requires funds to be raised. We do apply for grants here and there, but a lot of the money comes not only from what we get from hiring out the boats, but from fundraising. And we have 2 or 3 major events. And for example, this year we're having a regatta, which a Wimborne regatta, so that we can bring people down to not just have a row, but have a burger and visit the bar and have a go on a canoe, perhaps they may not have tried before, and other entertainment for the children. A bit of a family day, family fun day.
And I've been to 1 or 2 of your days like that. So there's a raffle and there's a real community, nice community feel, races up and down the river. Fierce competition, I think.
Oh, absolutely, yes, yes.
Which is nice. So how many boats do you have, approximately?
Well, we have 7 rowing boats, but we also have 2 Canadian canoes, which are it's sort of more stable and large, and then we have 3 what they call sit-ons, which are for the adventurous ones who don't mind getting close to the water.
Well, it's like so many of the wonderful organisations in Wimborne run by volunteers, which is brilliant.
Yes.
How many sort of people have you got? What sort of numbers?
Well, we have 8 on our committee, but of course the committee isn't static. Over the years, people have joined and had to leave for various reasons. So it's an ever-changing group of people. But they are a very loyal, dedicated, madly enthusiastic crowd who turn out in cold weather to mend and paint and fix the boats, and in nice sunny weather to sit by the river and encourage other people
to use it. So that's brilliant. So it's Dreamboats is part of a charity.
Yes, we are. We are. You may have heard of Vision Wimborne, which is the sort of mother charity. Vision Wimborne has 3 arms, if you can have 3 arms. The Dial-A-Ride, which I'm sure you know about that one. Dreamboats, which came next. And the third one is the Youth Cafe, which has also become part of Vision Wimborne. So we're all feed in as part of this umbrella type charity for the town.
And that's fantastic. And you're involved in all of them.
I am, yes.
Well, keep up the good work, Pat. Thanks very much for coming to talk to us, and I hope you get lots more visitors on the river this summer.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thanks.
Welcome to Riverside Park in Wimborne. This is a project that's come about through a partnership between Wimborne Town Council, Dreamboats, the Poole Harbour Canoe Club, and also the Second Wimborne Scouts and Christchurch and East Dorset councils. For many years, the area in front of me was the factory of flight refuelling.
I think this is a wonderful facility.